The story begins with a girl named Julia. Her younger brother was coming home after many years. Julia looked very happy because she loved her younger brother very much. As soon as she ran to his room, she hugged him tightly. Her brother's name was Mason. He also loved Julia deeply. They had a third brother too, but he lived alone. Mason had gone to the city for studies and came back after 5 years. Since childhood, Julia and Mason were very close. That is why there was strong love between them. Mason returned home and started spending time with his family. Julia kept looking at him all day. She wanted Mason to always stay in front of her eyes. Mason also looked at her and Julia knew it. A few days later, Mason was taking Julia's picture. It was Julia's first time in front of a camera, so she felt shy. After some time, Julia was trying on a new dress while her mother Mary stood beside her. Julia had reached the age of marriage. That is why Mary was searching for a match. She told Julia that the groom's family would come tonight to see her. At night, the groom's family arrived. A boy sat next to Julia who wanted to marry her. Everyone was eating food. Julia's family was very rich, so they had prepared a lot of food. But Mason did not like that boy. He left the food and went to his room. Julia understood that Mason was upset, so she also went to his room. Meanwhile, Julia's father William was making excuses when the groom's family asked about her. Inside the room, Julia and Mason were looking at each other. Julia said, "I cannot live without you." Hearing this, Mason moved closer and kissed her. Outside, everyone was looking for Julia because a lot of time had passed. When she did not return, the groom's family got angry and left. After they went, William told everyone to search for Julia. Mary quickly went towards Mason's room. Inside, Julia and Mason were close to each other. Suddenly, Mary entered the room. Both of them became afraid. Mary said, "Quickly put on your clothes," because she did not want anyone to know. As soon as they came out of the room, William stood in front of them. His eyes fell on Julia's neck. He saw the marks there and out of anger he beat Mason badly. After some time, William scolded Julia. He said, "You both made this mistake before, that is why I sent Mason to the city. I thought you had changed, but you crossed the limits. In our country, such a relation is punished strictly. You must promise that this will never happen again." Julia stayed silent and said nothing. After that, William also explained things to Mason. Mason cried when he realized his mistake. After some time, Julia's parents were speaking with their priest. Julia's family was very religious. That is why they always took advice from the priest whenever they needed guidance. The priest told them to arrange Julia's marriage. The family agreed to this. 1 month later, Julia was married to a man named Sean. Sean was older than her, but he was very rich. Julia was not happy with her marriage. She felt that she was moving far away from Mason. He did not want to marry Sean. But she had to do it because of her parents' pressure. After the wedding, Sean took Julia with him. This made her completely distant from Mason. A few days later, Julia was at Sean's house. Only Sean's mother lived there with them. At night, when Sean tried to get close to Julia, she pushed him away. Julia hated him. That is why she forced him out of the room and slept alone. A few days later, Julia wrote a letter to Mason. In the letter she said, "I cannot live without you. Sean wants to be close to me, but I always stop him." After writing the letter, she gave it to her maid, Eva, so that she could deliver it to Mason. But Sean saw Eva leaving the house. The next day the letter reached Mason. After reading it, Mason also wrote back, "I cannot live without you either. That is why I will soon take you away from Sean." He gave the letter to Eva and Eva delivered it to Julia. Now the brother and sister kept writing letters to each other, and Eva was the one carrying them. Julia never allowed Sean to come near her. She only spoke with Sean's mother but always stayed away from Sean. Seeing Julia's behavior, Sean began to suspect her. He thought Julia must be in contact with someone else. Many times he had seen Eva going to Julia. This made him more suspicious. One day when Eva was carrying Julia's letter, Sean stopped her and searched her. He found Julia's letter. After reading it, Sean became so angry that he killed Eva. The next day when Julia asked Sean about Eva, he gave her a letter. But it was not real. Sean had written it himself. In that letter, it was written that Eva had gone to her village forever. After reading this, Julia was shocked and fainted. Now Julia and Mason could not send letters anymore. Both of them became very sad. A few days later, a boy came to Sean's house for cleaning. When he got the chance, he went to Julia's room and gave her a letter from Mason. In that letter, Mason had written, "Tonight I am coming to take you." At night, Julia got ready. Mason somehow entered Sean's house. He met Sean, but he killed him. Then he took Julia with him. After that, he brought her straight to his room and kept her in a cave with him all night. The next morning, William's house was being cleaned. A maid came running to Mary and said, "Julia is in Mason's room." As soon as Mary heard this, she quickly went to Mason's room. She saw Julia there and hid her. After that, Mary told everything to William. William was also sad about their actions. At night, Mary prepared both of them and then threw them out of the house forever. The country where Mary lived had very strict punishments for such a relationship. Mary wanted to save them from the police. That is why she forced them to leave the house. In the morning, Mason and Julia reached the forest. They decided to move to another city. As they walked through the forest, they stayed close to each other whenever they got the chance. At night, the police also entered the forest and started searching for them. Sean had survived Mason's attack and now he wanted them to be punished. The police searched the whole forest, but the two managed to hide. That is why the police could not catch them. The story now continues a few months later. Mason and Julia were hiding in a city. During this time, Julia became pregnant. One day the police entered the city and arrested both of them. A reward had been placed on their capture. Because of greed, someone gave the police exact information. A few days later, they were taken to court. The judge asked Mason, "Do you have an illegal relationship with Julia?" Mason lied and said there was no such relation between them. When the judge asked them to admit their mistake, both of them refused. Many months passed like this. During this time, Julia gave birth to a child. But since Julia was in prison, she could not spend much time with her baby. Whenever they were brought to court, they refused to accept their relationship. Then the judge asked Julia, "You ran away from Sean's house 10 months ago. I want to know who is the father of your child." Julia remained silent. Her silence became dangerous for her. The judge announced the decision in court. There was an illegal relationship between them. That is why both must be sentenced to death. The next morning, they were paraded through the entire city so that no one would dare to make the same mistake again. After this, they were prepared for punishment. Mason was punished first. He was executed in front of Julia. Seeing this, Julia fainted. After that, Julia was also punished and she too was executed. At the end of the story, both of them left this world. Their family also left the city and went to an unknown place. The end of a forbidden relationship is always tragic, no matter how much love it contains. With this, the story ends. If you liked the story, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.